Success is often described as a ladder, but what happens when you reach the top and find it's remarkably quiet? You have the career, the security, the family, yet there's this persistent shadow, a feeling that something human is missing. Loneliness doesn't care about your titles. It lives in the quiet gaps between the things you've built. Success requires a narrow focus, a lens that can filter out the very relationships we need to feel truly whole. Breaking the trap isn't about doing more. It's about being more, reclaiming the authenticity we often hide. Real connection is found in the small, unrecorded moments that no trophy or title can ever replace. It's never too late to bridge the gap. Success is only meaningful when shared. Start your journey back to connection today. We are told that life is a mountain to be climbed, that at the summit, the view will be worth every sacrifice and every missed connection. The promise of success is simple. If you achieve enough, you will be enough. We believe our titles will speak for us, but for many at the top, a strange silence settles in. The quiet realization that the ladder was leaning against the wrong wall. You have the career and the security, yet there's a persistent shadow, a feeling that something vital is missing. This is where the journey begins, in the recognition of the gap between what we have and who we are connected to. Next, we'll dive into the raw emotion of this silence. Join me as we explore the loneliness trap. Breaking the loneliness trap isn't about doing more, it's about being more. It begins with the courage to set down the heavy mask of achievement. Reconnection starts with authenticity. It's about reclaiming the parts of yourself that success asked you to hide, your vulnerabilities and your need for others. Connection happens by intention. It's the choice to reach out, to listen without an agenda, and to be present in the messy reality of life. It's found in the unrecorded moments, the shared laughter, the quiet walk, the simple act of being known by another human being. When we prioritize connection over achievement, the trap loses its power. The most valuable legacy we leave is the network of hearts we've touched. In our final chapters, we'll reflect and look toward a future of hope. Loneliness doesn't care about your titles. It doesn't respect your bank account. It lives in the quiet gaps between the things you've built. In the pursuit of legacy, we often sacrifice the now for a then that never quite arrives. Achievement builds a wall around us, brick by brick. Success requires a narrow focus, a lens that can inadvertently filter out the very relationships and vulnerabilities we need to feel truly whole. We are wired for connection. It's not a luxury, it's a biological necessity. When we ignore it, the silence of success begins to feel heavy. Real connection is the currency of the heart. It's found in the small, unrecorded moments that no trophy or title can ever replace. In our next chapter, we'll move from the silence to the solution. How do we bridge the gap? Real connection is the currency of the heart. It's found in the small, unrecorded moments that no trophy or title can ever replace. When we look back, we don't remember the accolades. We remember the laughter, the shared silence, and the hands we held along the way. It's never too late to bridge the gap. Today, you can choose to take a different path. The trap is only as strong as the walls we build. Success is only meaningful when shared. Bridging the gap isn't a single event. It's a series of hopeful steps toward home. Your journey back starts here. Reach out, be present. Start your new chapter defined by connection today. This concludes the loneliness trap. Join us next time as we dive deeper into nurturing these vital bonds. Thank you for joining me. We've explored the why and how. Now we look at the human side of the summit, the stories of those who have lived it. Take the CEO who built a global empire, only to realize he was a stranger to his own family. Success had become a fortress. Or the celebrated artist whose studio was a place of unshared silence. The applause felt distant, unable to bridge the gap home. The common thread is the filtering out of vulnerability. We become so good at being strong that we forget how to be known. The turning point is always the same, prioritizing presence over prestige, stepping out of the fortress and back into connection. In our next chapter, we'll explore the tools for these summit stories, the art of deep listening. The most powerful bridge between two hearts isn't a speech, it's a silence. The silence of deep, intentional listening. In a world that prizes the loud and the fast, we often forget how to be still. We listen to respond rather than to understand. Deep listening is the practice of presence. It's the choice to create a safe space for another person's truth to land. Being heard is so close to being loved that they are almost indistinguishable. It is the greatest gift we can offer one another. Next time you ask, "How are you?" wait for the real answer. Break the trap of small talk and step into a shared now. Next, we'll explore the power of community, building spaces where connection is the default. If the trap of success is isolation, the antidote is community. Not just being near people, but being in purpose with them. Connection thrives in shared purpose. When we contribute to something larger than ourselves, the focus shifts from I to we, and the walls of achievement begin to crumble. We need third places, intentional spaces where connection is the default. Places where you are known not for your title, but for your presence. In a digital age, technology can be a fortress or a bridge. The choice is ours, to use these tools for genuine interaction rather than passive consumption. One authentic connection has a ripple effect. It strengthens the community, making it more resilient, more empathetic, and more human for everyone involved. In our next chapter, we'll move from the community back to the core, the evolving nature of family, and the bonds that define us. We think of legacy as something we leave behind, a building, a title, or a name. But the most enduring legacies are invisible. True legacy is found in the ripple effect of our presence. It's the way our kindness and authenticity live on in the hearts of others. In the later stages of life, we redefine success. It's no longer about the height of the ladder, but the depth of the roots we've grown. Our most valuable achievement is a life shared, a story where the main characters aren't accomplishments, but the people who walked with us. The trap is broken when we realize that success is only meaningful when shared. Authentic connection is the ultimate victory. This concludes the loneliness trap. May your journey forward be defined by the beauty of being known. Thank you for joining me. The family is our core, but as nests empty and careers resolve, the bonds that once felt automatic can begin to fray. The silence of an empty house is a mirror. It reflects the years spent building a legacy, sometimes at the expense of presence. We used achievement as a shield, believing providing was a substitute for being there. But the heart requires a different currency. Rebuilding bonds requires a new language, shifting from being a provider to a participant in the lives of those we love. Every intentional call and shared meal is a bridge back. It's never too late to evolve and find our way home. In our next chapter, we'll conclude by looking at the true meaning of legacy. There is a world of difference between loneliness and solitude. One is a state of lack, the other is a state of fullness. Loneliness is the painful gap between the connection we crave and the reality we live. It's a hunger for presence that success cannot feed. Solitude is the choice to be with yourself. It's the intentional silence that allows us to hear our own truth and reclaim our own authenticity. In the stillness of solitude, we find the strength to connect. We learn that being alone doesn't have to mean being lonely. It can mean being whole. Choosing solitude is a radical act of self-connection. It breaks the trap of seeking external validation and grounds us in the richness of the shared now. In our next chapter, we'll explore how this inner connection becomes the foundation for deep, authentic bonds with others. In the climb to success, we were told vulnerability was a liability. But in the journey toward connection, it is our greatest asset. Achievement is a shield. It protects us from judgment, but prevents others from seeing who we are. To be connected, we must first be known. Being known requires the courage to be seen as imperfect. It's the decision to stop the highlight reel and share the real story. When we share our struggles, we create safety for others. Vulnerability doesn't just bridge the gap, it dissolves it. Choosing vulnerability is a radical act. It's the return to our true selves, where the most authentic connections are built. Next, we'll dive into the richness of the shared now, cultivating presence in our daily lives. The achievement brain is a time traveler, always in the next, the tomorrow, but connection only happens in the now. To be successful, we were taught to be ahead, but when we live in the future, we become ghosts in our own present. Presence is the choice to slow down, prioritizing the person over the progress and the moment over the milestone. When we are fully present, loneliness disappears. Our most valuable gift is our undivided attention. There is a richness in being that success cannot replicate, the quiet power of a shared silence and being together. Next, we'll explore the architecture of connection, building spaces that foster these vital bonds. Connection isn't just a feeling, it's a design. The spaces we inhabit shape how we interact with one another. In our pursuit of prestige, we built walls that became cages. We designed for isolation, believing it was security. Designing for presence means creating intermediate spaces, like front porches and shared gardens. Spaces that encourage the spontaneous hello and the unhurried chat with the humanity around us. We need a social infrastructure that values connection over efficiency, where the default is to lean in. When we design for connection, the trap dissolves. A well-placed bench can be a bridge to home. Next, we'll move from the architecture of spaces to the architecture of the mind. Beyond the walls we build, there's a deeper architecture, the landscape of the mind. How we see ourselves determines how we connect. The achievement mindset is a relentless engine. It leaves little room for the inefficiency of genuine connection. The foundation is self-compassion, being as kind to ourselves as we are to the legacies we build. Connection starts with internal peace. It takes courage to face the fear of being seen as ordinary. Our value isn't in our output, but in our shared humanity. When we shift the mind toward presence, connection becomes the natural state. We build durable bridges with empathy. In our next chapter, we'll explore the specific habits of the heart, daily practices that sustain connection. Join me for Chapter 15. Connection is a practice. It's built in the small, consistent habits that say, I see you, and you matter. The first habit is curiosity, the choice to keep learning the stories of those we love. Connection thrives on questions. Gratitude is the second habit. It turns what we have into enough and strengthens the bonds we share. Third is reaching out, the small efforts that keep the path clear. A text or a call is a brick in the bridge. With these habits, connection becomes a way of life. The most enduring legacies are the ones we water every day. Next, we move to the global, how connection bridges cultural divides. The loneliness trap isn't confined by borders. Whether in a high-rise or a village, the hunger for connection is a universal language. Different cultures build different fortresses, but any system that values output over presence can become a cage. At our core, we are the same. We all need to be seen and heard. This is the global foundation of our humanity. Bridging the gap requires looking beyond local success and embracing the shared values that unite us across divides. When connection is a global priority, the trap fails. The most meaningful success is a life connected to the human story. Next, we'll explore the wisdom of the ages, how ancient cultures prioritized the bonds we now reclaim. The loneliness trap feels modern, but the solutions are ancient. Before achievement, humanity was defined by the circle of community. Ancient cultures designed their lives around connection. Their social structures ensured that no one stood alone at the summit. Indigenous wisdom reminds us we are threads in a tapestry. Every person's presence is vital to the whole and the heart. We traded the relational for the transactional. We prioritized individual output over the well-being of the group. To break the trap, we must reclaim this wisdom. Our greatest achievement is the strength of the bonds we water together. Next, we move from history to the future, designing a connected world for those to come. We have looked back at the past. Now, we must look forward. The The future of connection is something we design. A connected future requires environments that break down the silos of age and encourage us to cross paths. Technology will be the bridge. We will design tools that enhance our presence rather than replace it. The most durable design is mentorship, intergenerational bonds that ensure wisdom is a shared currency. When we design for connection, we create a world where success is measured by the strength of our bonds. Next, we'll dive into the power of mentorship, sharing your journey with the next generation. Success is often a solitary pursuit, but legacy is collaborative. Sharing your journey is the best way to break the loneliness trap. We live in a world separated by age. We build silos that starve the young of wisdom and the old of energy, but the heart requires both. Mentorship is a double bridge. It gives the mentor a renewed sense of purpose and the mentee a steady anchor. Our stories are meant to be woven. Your most valuable asset isn't wealth or titles, it's your lived experience. Your triumphs are the roadmap the next generation needs. When we step into the role of guide, we step out of isolation. The most meaningful success is a life connected to the future. Next, we'll confront the digital paradox, using technology as a bridge for connection rather than a fortress of isolation. We live in the most connected age in history, yet we feel more isolated. Technology can be a fortress or a bridge. The digital fortress is built on passive consumption. We mistake proximity for presence and performance for connection. But technology can also be a bridge. Used with intention, it transcends geography to share our lives in real time. The difference is intentionality, choosing to use our tools for interaction, using the digital to deepen the physical. When we keep the heart at the center, the paradox resolves. Technology must serve our humanity, not the other way around. Next, we'll return to the physical world, sustaining these bridges in our local communities. Technology bridges miles, but it cannot replace a handshake or eye contact. True connection thrives in proximity. Our neighborhoods are laboratories of connection. They provide stages for the spontaneous hello that breaks isolation. The simple act of sharing a space, a bench, or a path is a powerful antidote to loneliness. We are part of a shared geography. In physical presence, we find empathy that screens filter out. We see the real story in the eyes, not just the highlights. Staying local is a choice. It's the decision to be present in our community and find home in the faces around us. Next, we move to emotional literacy, the skills we need to truly understand the hearts of others. Connection requires more than proximity, it requires a language. The language of the heart, emotional literacy. We spent decades mastering the language of achievement, but the surface script of success often leaves our true emotions unexpressed and unheard. Literacy begins within. It's the choice to slow down and name what we feel, to bridge the gap between our internal world and our external presence. When we understand our own heart, we can truly see the hearts of others. We move from observation to empathy, the ability to see their story through their eyes. Emotional literacy turns small talk into real dialogue. It creates the safety required for authenticity to bloom and for the loneliness trap to finally dissolve. In our next chapter, we'll explore the role of rituals, the consistent shared actions that keep the flame of connection burning through the years. Connection isn't just maintained by big moments, it's anchored by small ones. The shared beats of our lives, our rituals, are the glue of the heart. A weekly coffee, a morning walk, or a shared evening reflection. These aren't just routines. They are intentional spaces where we choose to be known and to know another. Rituals turn the ordinary into the sacred. They provide a predictable rhythm in an unpredictable world, creating a steady pulse of connection that success cannot replicate. When we share these rituals across generations, we pass down more than a tradition. We pass down the blueprint for belonging, ensuring that the legacy of connection lives on. In the steady rhythm of ritual, the loneliness trap finally loses its grip. We find home not in a destination, but in the consistent, shared now of our daily lives. In our next chapter, we'll explore the courage to start again, how we can rebuild connection even after years of isolation. The hardest part of breaking the loneliness trap isn't the distance between people, it's the internal hurdle of starting again. We spent years building self-sufficiency. Pride tells us it's too late, but the heart knows connection has no expiration date. The first step is a radical act of vulnerability. It's the reaching out, a call, or a visit that breaks the silence of a decade. What we fear as rejection is often met with the same hunger for connection we feel ourselves. The bridges are waiting to be finished. Starting again is a lifelong process of choosing presence over prestige. It's the daily commitment to being truly known. Next, we'll explore the wisdom of interdependence, how accepting our need for others is the ultimate sign of maturity. Belonging is a biological imperative. Our brains are hardwired for connection, and our bodies respond when that wire is broken. Chronic isolation releases stress hormones that wear down the heart and spirit. The loneliness trap keeps the body on high alert. But connection is the antidote. Authentic interaction triggers the release of oxytocin, lowering blood pressure and calming the mind. The science is clear. Those with deep social bonds live longer, recover faster, and maintain their health far into the later stages of life. Connection is the ultimate medicine. It is the invisible infrastructure that supports our existence and gives meaning to success. Next, we'll walk through a day in a connected life, what it looks like to live with intention from dawn to dusk. A connected life begins in the quiet. It starts with gratitude, the intentional recognition of a new opportunity for presence. The first act is to reach out, to bridge the gap before the noise of the day, turning a digital tool into a bridge for genuine care. Midday is for shared purpose. It's the choice to contribute our wisdom and find our rhythm in the collective work of community. Even in connection, we choose solitude. The afternoon walk becomes a space to recharge our own light to share with others. The day ends at the shared table. Here, the surface script is set aside, and small moments become the fabric of legacy. In our final chapter, we'll define the new legacy, the lasting mark of a connected life. We began this journey asking what happens at the summit. Now we know. Success is not the peak you reach, but the hands you hold along the way. The loneliness trap ends the moment we choose authenticity over performance, presence over prestige, and we over us. Your true legacy isn't written in a ledger or etched on a trophy. It is written in the hearts of the people you loved, listened to, and walked with. It is never too late. Today, right now, you can open the door, reach out your hand, and step back into the circle of human warmth. A connected life is waiting. A life where you are known, valued, and truly home. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the loneliness trap. May your path forward be rich with connection. We were taught that independence was the ultimate goal, but the summit taught us otherwise. The true measure of maturity is accepting our interdependence. The lone hero is a myth that achievement often reinforces. It leaves us at the top, but alone. Needing others is a victory of humanity. Our greatest strengths are collective. We were designed to be part of a whole, to lean on one another, and to find our purpose in the group. When we embrace interdependence, the loneliness trap dissolves. We find that the most durable bridges are the ones we build for each other to cross. The connected life is a life in harmony. It's the realization that our individual stories only reach their full potential when they are part of a shared human tapestry. In our final chapters, we'll bring all these threads together to define a new way forward, a future built on connection, authenticity, and hope.